Hey, what's going on? I have a question for you. Have you ever wondered what life would be like if you were completely free? And by completely free, I mean you're able to live and work anywhere in the world that you want. You can spend time doing exactly the things that you like. Hanging out with the people you want. And generally doing really anything that you want to do, as long as it makes you happy and as long as it isn't hurting somebody else. Because I want to tell you today, right now, that there's really only 3 things you need to acquire for that level of freedom. And you don't need to be an expert, and you don't need to go into hiding, and you don't need to live like this broke gypsy running around from country to country, chasing your tail and trying to avoid taxes. Because believe me, if that's your strategy, eventually you're going to get caught, and you're going to end up in a cage, or things are going to really start to suck very quickly. So the first thing you need for that level of freedom is an income source that doesn't require a fixed address. And I call those an income without borders. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, owning a restaurant or owning a store or other traditional brick and mortar businesses. And there's not even anything wrong with, having a job if that's what you want to do. But none of those things are ever going to give you real location independence and freedom, And if you don't know the kind of business that I'm talking about that you can do that's location independent, or don't think you have the skills, relax. That stuff can be taken care of. We're going to talk about that more in later videos. But I do want you to understand that the right business can be as big as you want and can be set up in a way where the location doesn't matter. So if you're an ambitious person and you're worried that being location independent means living paycheck to paycheck as a digital nomad like so many people do, that's not at all what I'm talking about here. So you can completely relax. The next thing that you need to live that level of freedom is a nest egg. And it's a nest egg that's going to pay you down the road, and it's going to build on itself while it's doing that. I call these investments without borders, because these investments are going to continue building no matter where you are and where you're living, and they'll continue to build after you've stopped working. Some people think that living paycheck to paycheck is fine, as long as you're on a beach or your deserted island somewhere. But trust me, even if it's fun now and you're happy with your life making paycheck to paycheck, as you get old, you're going to change your mind on that. And if you're relying on a pension for when you're retired, then you're never free because you're stuck slaving to somebody else. You have to do exactly what those people tell you that you're going to do, or they're going to take your pension away. So that's not freedom. And if you're planning on having a family, or if you have a family today, it's your responsibility to set up generational wealth for that family. So it's something you have to do. Now the final and most important thing though that you need to do to be free is you have to establish legal virtual locations for different parts of your life. This is really a life without border. And it includes things like your business and your assets, and even where you call home, even if you're not actually living there. Now because these are legal, there are these virtual locations that don't have to change, because when you structure them correctly, it doesn't matter so much where they are, because they're allowing you to physically exist wherever you want. Whether that's for a day, a month, or a year, or for a lifetime. The virtual locations separate the legal parts of your life from your physical location. So ask yourself, like right now, is complete liberty and freedom anywhere in the world something that gets your juices kind of flowing in your mind? Does the thought of it excite you, even just, a little bit? Because if there's even a slight chance of that lifestyle working out for you, don't you think it's worth starting to look into? I mean, it's your decision. It's easy for me to say, yeah, you can do this, I know it's something you can do. I know that if I did it, anybody can do it. But having freedom means responsibility. And that means that you're the only person who can make the decision and take the responsibility for you and your family. So are you willing to learn and investigate just those 3 things to get that life of a location-independent, unconventional entrepreneur?
Would you like to legally avoid taxes, create generational wealth, and live a life of complete freedom? If you answered yes to any of the above, you should immediately download the 1% Game Plan Tax Freedom Playbook. In it, you'll unlock the simple and legal tax and international diversification tactics used by the 1%, investors, traders, and small entrepreneurs to greatly reduce or even eliminate government taxation, and live a life of complete freedom and liberty. Internationalization is no longer only for the rich. In this free guide, you'll discover how anyone can diversify, protect their assets, reduce or even eliminate taxes, build an international nest egg, and much more. You will also uncover our top 9 countries to easily establish your tax-protected banking strategy and 1 sketchy country to stay away from. The 6 shelter accounts banking strategy you must establish to protect and preserve your cash from unnecessary taxation and fees. The 122 square mile crypto mecca regarded the most friendly and lucrative place to incorporate your location-independent business. You'll enjoy zero capital gains or income taxes here if you incorporate properly. And much, much more. This powerful new report will be available for a limited time only. Click the button below to access your instant download before we start charging for this valuable information. Your access is just a few clicks away.